In the dusty streets of Bethany, a small village nestled on the eastern slopes of the Mount of Olives, a sense of dread hangs in the air. The sun beats down relentlessly, and the voices of mourners fill the hot, dry wind. The village is in mourning the loss of a beloved man named Lazarus, who was not just a friend, but a beacon of light to all who knew him. Lazarus, the brother of Mary and Martha, two devoted followers of Jesus, has succumbed to a sudden illness. His death has left a void in the hearts of his family and friends. But little do they know that a divine plan is already in motion, one that will test their faith and reveal a miracle beyond their wildest dreams. As Lazarus breathes his last, a messenger is sent to Jesus, who is in a distant region, preaching and healing the sick. "Lord, the one you love is sick," the messenger pleads, breathless from his journey. The urgency in his voice is palpable, his eyes filled with hope that Jesus will come immediately to save his friend. But Jesus, upon hearing the news, does not rush. Instead, he speaks with a calmness that confounds his disciples. "This sickness will not end in death," he says. "No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." His words hang in the air, mysterious and filled with promise. The disciples exchange puzzled glances, unsure of what their master means. 2 days pass, and still Jesus remains where he is. The disciples grow anxious, questioning the delay. "Rabbi," they finally ask, "should we not go to Bethany? Lazarus is your friend, and his sisters are waiting." But Jesus, with a serene smile, responds, "Lazarus is dead, and for your sake, I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him now." With these words, a journey begins, a journey that will lead not just to Bethany, but to the very heart of belief itself. As they near the village, Martha hears that Jesus is coming. Her heart, heavy with grief, yet still flickering with hope, leads her out to meet him. She falls at his feet, tears streaming down her face. "Lord," she cries, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now, God will give you whatever you ask." Her faith is unwavering, even in the midst of her sorrow. Jesus looks at her with deep compassion. "Your brother will rise again," he tells her. Martha nods, her voice trembling. "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." But Jesus' eyes blaze with a light that cuts through her despair. He speaks with a clarity and power that silences all doubt. "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die." "Do you believe this?" Martha's heart leaps, and with a conviction born of profound faith, she answers, "Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who is to come into the world." Martha rushes back to the house to fetch Mary, her sister, who is still surrounded by mourners. "The teacher is here," she whispers urgently, "and he is asking for you." Mary rises quickly and goes to him. When she sees Jesus, she falls at his feet, her sobs echoing through the valley. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died," she repeats, her voice thick with grief. The depth of her sorrow moves Jesus deeply, and he too is overwhelmed. Tears well up in his eyes, and he weeps. His tears a profound testament to his love for Lazarus and his empathy for those who mourn. The mourners are astonished. "See how he loved him," they exclaim. But others murmur, "Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying. The air is thick with a mix of hope and skepticism. Jesus, wiping his tears, takes a deep breath. He knows that what he is about to do will change everything. "Take away the stone," Jesus commands, his voice steady and firm. The people gasp. Martha, practical as ever, is hesitant. "But Lord," she protests, "by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." 4 days, long enough for the body to begin decaying, long enough for any hope of revival to have withered away. But Jesus looks at her with a gentle yet penetrating gaze. "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" Reluctantly, the stone is rolled away, revealing the dark, gaping entrance of the tomb. The crowd falls silent, every eye fixed on Jesus. He steps forward and lifts his face to heaven. "Father," he prays, "I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me." His voice is calm, but filled with a divine authority that sends a shiver down the spine of all who hear it. Then, with a voice that seems to shake the very earth, Jesus cries out, "Lazarus, come out!" The command echoes off the walls of the tomb, reverberating through the valley. For a moment, time itself seems to stand still. The crowd holds its breath, eyes wide with anticipation, hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and hope. And then, out of the darkness, something stirs. A figure appears in the entrance of the tomb, shuffling forward, wrapped in linen cloth from head to toe. It is Lazarus alive, his face still bound in burial cloths, but his eyes blinking in the bright sunlight. Gasps and cries of astonishment fill the air as people scramble to see what has just happened. "Take off the grave clothes and let him go," Jesus instructs calmly. The crowd surges forward, overwhelmed with emotion. Tears of joy, cries of disbelief, and praises to God fill the air. Lazarus, who was dead, is now alive. Mary and Martha rush to embrace their brother, their hearts bursting with joy and gratitude. They have witnessed a miracle, a powerful testament to Jesus' divine authority over life and death. In this moment, their faith, tested by the darkest grief, is rewarded with a joy they could never have imagined. Word of this miracle spreads like wildfire throughout the region. People from all walks of life come to see the man who was dead and is now alive, and to hear from the one who brought him back. Many believe in Jesus because of what they have witnessed, but others are threatened by his growing influence. The miracle at Bethany is not just a moment of divine intervention. It is a pivotal point that will set in motion a series of events leading to the most profound act of love the world has ever known, the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus himself. The raising of Lazarus is more than just a miracle. It is a foreshadowing, a glimpse into the power and promise of the resurrection to come. It is a reminder that no matter how dark our circumstances, no matter how hopeless our situation may seem, there is always light, always hope, always life in Jesus. He is the resurrection and the life, the conqueror of death and the giver of eternal life. And in him, we find our own resurrection, our own hope, our own life. What do you think about this extraordinary miracle? How does the story of Lazarus inspire you in your own journey of faith? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I request you to support us by liking the video, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the bell icon. This generous act of yours will give us encouragement and power. May God bless you.